In the previous video, we have learned about block. In this video, we are going to implement those concepts which we have learned in the previous video. To implement those concepts, we are going to create a block which generates a random number. As you can see, I have a simple counter app which you get whenever you create a new Flutter project. So I'm going to edit this. To keep everything organized, I'm going to create a folder with the name number generator. This folder will keep all of the files which are required by Block State Manager to work. Now I'm going to create 3 files, each for block, event and state. Inside the number generator block file, we need to create a class which extends block. I'm going to name this class number generator block. Now we are going to extend this class with the block. So block is a generic class. It takes parameters, event and state. So first parameter should always be event and the second parameter should always be state. Why first parameter should always be event? Because block is event driven. Without event, how can you get block to get work done? Now in the event file, we need to create a abstract class number generator event. Why abstract class? Because block takes single type of event. So if you create any number of child of a number generator event, those child events can be handled by block. I know it's a bit confusing. Don't worry, all the confusions will be gone once you see it in action. Now I'm going to create an event with the name generate random number. This event needs to be a child of number generator event, else block won't be able to handle it. Similarly, we need to create abstract class for state and also we need to create its child states. First, I'm going to create initial state, also a loading state. So I'm going to give it a name generating number. We need to make sure all the substates are a child of number generator state. Once the number is successfully generated, we are going to emit number successfully generated state. Also, we are going to emit the number which is generated. We are going to initialize this number in the constructor. Sometimes process being done by block generates error. That's why we need to have a error state. So I'm going to create an error state now. So I'm going to give it a name error generating number. Now we are using abstract classes for both state and event. Later in the series, we are going to optimize block with the class modifiers and also we are going to improve our imports. Now we need to pass abstract state and event to the generic block so that block can recognize the events and emit substates of abstract state type. To handle the generate random number event, we need to use on method. Before we use on method, we need to call the super init state. Inside the constructor, we can call on method and we are going to handle the generate number. So the on method takes callback. Here, first I'm going to emit the state generating number. This state is a loading state. Then we are going to use random class. By using the random class, we are going to generate random numbers. So here we can call next int. Also we need to pass 100 here. Now we can emit the value using the number successfully generated state. To the generated number property, we need to pass random number. Also we need to add a delay here, else you won't be able to see generating number loading state in the UI. So I'm going to give it a duration of 2 seconds. Also we need to use async here. Now everything is set. To consume the states which are generated by block, we need to use block builder. To add event to the block or to read states from the block, we need to connect block with the UI. For this, we can use block provider. The block provider works as a dependency injection. It injects our block into the context. Later, we can use block provider to extract the instance of block down in the tree. So now I'm going to wrap my home page with the block provider and also we need to pass the instance of number generator block. We need to import the file and also Flutter Bloc package. To consume the states which are generated by block, we need to use the block builder to build the UI. So now I'm going to remove the column. Here I'm going to use block builder. So block builder is also a generic class. So it's going to take block and also the type of state this block is going to emit, right? Also it takes builder. So builder is going to render the UI depending upon the state. So here what we can do, if state is initial, we are going to show a different UI. Similarly with the different states. So let me just write all the UIs for the different states quickly. Now I can remove this part, and also we can add event to the block from here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to call the block provider and I'm going to use the off method. This off method is going to look for the number generator block in the context, and also we are going to add event. So as you can see, it's asking for number generator event. So we can add any child of number generator event here. As you can see, I'm able to add it, right? Also we need to pass initial state to the block. For this we are going to pass it here. Now I guess everything is set. We need to append const along with the each test. There's one more. Now let me run the application. You will see, please press the button to generate a random number. So when I press this, you will see it showed me loading, then value. So now what I want to do, I want to also check that the error state is being handled properly. For this I'm going to use random class to generate a boolean value which is going to decide whether it should show a error or it should show a successful screen. For this I'm going to use a boolean value. In the value name we emit error. Also from here we can emit the error state. So error generating number. Right now we were only getting loading and successful state. Now we can also check we are getting error generating number or not. Now if I hot restart the application, now if I press here, I got a successful state. Again I got a successful state. Now I got a error state. Now what I want, I don't want to rebuild my UI when the state is error. For this we can use build when. So build when gives us previous state and also current state. So this method never gets called initially. This method gets called whenever you add a event to the block. This method gets called when block emits a state, not initially. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to check if state is errors, I'm going to return false. So I need to check the current state, else I'm going to rebuild the. So when the block emits an error state, it will continue to show a loading screen. To fix this, in the next video we are going to use block listener. When we get the error, we are going to show a alert instead of showing loading only. That's it. Block is this much simple. If you want to learn more about block and Flutter Advanced, you can subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.